or literally being held in your arms at this place, the warmth of sunshine, and then being close to you here, being held here, the two things being very similar. I don't know why I'm seeing strawberries. That's weird. When you would eat strawberries, did she used to try to like steal some or something? Why is she showing me strawberries?
The only thing that comes to mind is the last toy my sister made her was a strawberry.
Oh, okay, okay.
That she liked, which was exactly like my French fries I made her, but
okay, okay. That's that makes sense. And is that the had catnip in it again?
Yep.
Okay, because she's making, that's funny, because she's making me feel like I wanted to.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so. This little red, like, puffball thing. I don't know if that's a particular toy she had or something you still have. It's red though.
I'm not.
You're not placing that right off the bat. Okay, that's the thing that I feel like will make sense. It almost looks like a craft supply or something.
I did attempt to make her a toy. My sister always crocheted her wonderful catnip toys that she was overjoyed about. So a couple years ago, I decided, well, I'm going to learn to crochet to make Abbie toys. And I attempted to make her a little miniature McDonald's French fry cat toy where the fries were filled with catnip.
Okay.
And I was so excited about it. And I found learning to crochet just very frustrating, and it brought me to tears several times. And I gave it to her for Christmas one year, and she completely snubbed it. She hated it.
Okay.
And it was quite funny. So that's the only red thing.
Okay, that makes, so oftentimes they'll combine, like, so she's probably wanting me to say, like, you tried to craft me a toy that was red. That makes sense to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was quite the gong show, because I then thought, well, maybe the yarn I used had toxins in it. So she's repulsed by that. So I got new yarn and made her even a second set of French fries. They're very cute. And she had those too. So it was quite funny, but yeah, that might be.
Okay. Yeah, that's what, so the way that, like, the charades type stuff and the energy where she's wanting me to say you tried to craft me a toy that was red.
Okay.
That's why she's making it look like a little craft ball, but also a toy.
Okay.
Yeah. She ages quite extensively, is that correct?
Yes, very much so.
Because she's showing me like the seasons change. Like I get older and older and older and older and older.
Yeah. She passed just before her 20th birthday.
Okay, okay. And she's talking about, like, but I weathered the storms. I weathered the storms.
Yeah.
And she's showing me this image of weathering the storms while sitting on your lap. She's very, she's trying to tell me something metaphorically in this image here. She's literally showing me, like, and it doesn't matter where you live, but like seasons changing and just sitting on your lap and like never leaving. Like it doesn't matter what the seasons brought, because she was always on your lap. And obviously this is a metaphor.
Okay.
She withstood it all. She doesn't make me feel like she really had that many health issues until like towards the end of her life. Does that make sense?
It does. Did you want me to add some information for you?
No, let me see where she goes here.
Okay.
But then I want to probably, I think, go to my belly. Does that make sense to you? Like, because do I have tummy problems? Like
she had kidney disease.
Okay, which is you can't see me.
Yeah, that's
But
okay.
I'm going down to my like lower abdomen area towards that time. Does that make sense? Like towards
Okay,
the end,
yeah,
the
yeah,
last, maybe the last year and a half or so
yeah.
of my time here. But she's showing me, she's giving me these images of like a snowstorm coming, and it doesn't matter. Even again, it doesn't matter where you live, but like you have a snowstorm coming, it doesn't matter because I'm just sitting on my mom's lap.
Mm.
It doesn't matter what's coming my way. She keeps talking about, is there a September significance in your life somewhere or in her life? Did she,
September.
yeah, did she start to get like sicker in September, or is there something significant in your life with September? Did you like meet your partner in September or something? There's something with September.
Not that I can think of. We started going down to the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. In 2016, we started going to a cottage, and we started going in September. And more
Okay.
recently, it became a twice a year trip.
Okay.
And that place she just absolutely loved.
Okay.
That's what I can think of in September.
And did she get to go like one more time and then you came back and she started getting like iller or something, or sicker,
Our
or going
last,
downhill?
yeah, our last trip would have been September, and yeah, she did. Probably by the following month, things really declined for her health wise.
Okay. Because okay, because that makes a lot of sense, like you going in September, but then because she was really giving me a feeling of around that time, like around September, I start to go
Yeah,
down.
yeah, and she did.
But she got that one last hurrah of,
Yeah.
okay. She showed me this image of, I don't know if this literally ever happened, but of you holding her here,
Mm-hmm.
and going outside, and I feel like the sun on me
Mm-hmm.
or on the two of you. I don't know if that's a literal image, or if that's more metaphoric of like that last hurrah. But I really, because it feels like I'm at this place and I just feel the warmth, but I'm close to you. And
Okay.
she's referencing the feeling of two things, like really loving the warmth of sunshine, be it
Yep.
through a window or or literally being held in your arms at this place, the warmth of sunshine, and then being close to you here, being held here, the two
Okay.
things being very similar. I don't know why I'm seeing strawberries. That's weird. When you would eat strawberries, did she used to try to like steal some or something? Why is she showing me strawberries?
The only thing that comes to mind is the last toy my sister made her was a strawberry.
Oh, okay, okay.
That she liked, which was exactly like my French fries I made her, but
okay, okay. That's that makes sense. And is that the had catnip in it again?
Yep.
Okay, because she's making, that's funny, because she's making me feel like I wanted to.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so that's why she's showing me a strawberry. It's just evidential information again. I'm like, cats don't eat strawberries. It's weird. Why are you showing me a strawberry? Attempting intervention too,
Yep.
like medications, right?
Yep.
Because she's showing me an image of a band-aid, like you tried to band-aid the situation, even though you knew that it wasn't long term.
Yeah.
And she's saying, she's giving a thumbs up, well, a pause up, thumbs up about that, as though thank you for that, because it did bring more time. It did bring more time, but it got to a point of comfort. She's saying it got to a point of comfort, because not everybody would have chosen to go the band-aid route. Some people would have, she's saying, some people would have chosen just to cut things off, but my mom didn't. My mom did everything she could to keep me with her as long as she could, until it got to a place of comfort. And she's saying, thank you for that. Thank you for that, because we got all the time we could together. Have you ever felt a connection with her through like songs or music or something from the other side? Like where you wondered if it's her?
Yes. Before she passed, I knew it was coming and I created a playlist. And sometimes when I was having a hard time, I would just go away and listen to these songs, and it would almost like make me mourn and cry. And there was one song I put on the playlist that I don't know why I ever put it on, but it was just a song that just I loved. It was from a TV show that I saw 10 years ago, and I added it, but it still just stirred up emotion. And then about a month late after she had passed, it was the night before her 20th birthday, and I was really shook up. And I went downstairs and I laid on the couch and I put on my earbuds and I listened to my playlist. The whole time I was listening to my playlist, that one song that I don't know why I put it on came on. And as I was listening to it, I was continually being pulled to an area in our rec room downstairs. And I knew she was lying there. We used to work out in that area, and she used to lie on her back and kind of get in the way. And it was just a great time together. And I knew she was there. Like I couldn't stop my body and my mind from being pulled to her. And I knew she was there. And the words to the song were, "Would you just lie with me and forget the world?" And in that moment, the night before her birthday, I realized why I put that song on the playlist. Like she played a part in it. And last week we did something special with her ashes, and I went into that playlist that I hadn't gone into for quite some time. And this song cover, like the icon, the song cover, which is normally the band cover, like I have no control over it, has changed, and I can send you a picture of it afterwards, to a picture of her that I used in a video I made of her 12 years ago. And I can't explain this electronically. And it was just very profound when I had that discovery. So yeah, there's been a lot of work through song recently.
Okay, awesome. Because she was showing me music notes, and which is why I'd asked you that question.
Yeah.
And giving me feelings and references of signs through music, which is why I asked you if you feel like you get signs from music through her. So that's her validation, that she uses music, which is interesting that an animal is using music, right? But that's awesome. That's her validation.
Yeah.
That it indeed is her. There's definitely like some kind of sunshine connection too between you and her to look out for going forward. I don't know if it's like something, it feels like something in one of your songs. Like, I don't know if it's in the words in one of your songs, or it's going to pop up somewhere, or there's some kind of sunshine connection that is, I feel like it's meant for you to connect. Okay. So pay attention to that, because she keeps bringing it up. She is also showing me, she's acting out too, that right now, in your life, there's a reference to you feeling like you're kind of walking on a balance beam. She's actually acting out walking on a balance beam, which is obviously very easy for cats, not so easy for humans. But she's saying like, I know my mom is walking on a balance beam right now, and that she feels very unsteady. And now that she's no longer in the physical, you feel like very frazzled. And it's more than her presence not being here. There's other things happening. But her presence not being here exacerbates that, because she's saying you've lost your person, but she's not a person. She's the equivalence of you losing your person. You know how people use the saying, I've lost my person, I've lost my person?
Yeah.
She's saying it's the same thing for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's saying wear that with a badge of honor. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because we had a bond like no other. She is giving me I know that she had kidney disease, but she's also giving me my symbolism for essentially was old age that also kind of took me.
Yeah.
More so than the kidney disease. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know how to quite to interpret that, because I would assume the kidney disease kind of caused her transition, but she's literally giving me my old age symbolism. So
Okay.
I guess I interpret that as maybe if I had been younger, I could have fought off kidney disease, and so maybe the old age is the root cause. But she's giving me my old age symbolism. Was there did you have to take her to the emergency bed at one point, like close to the end of her time or something? She's showing me an emergency symbol. Or she's just saying things became more emergent and the Band-Aid was no longer working. She's showing me my emergency symbol.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, she was diagnosed with kidney disease when she was 13 and she lived to be almost 20.
Oh, okay. So
She
that's why she's
responded-
showing me, okay.
She responded really well to the treatment, and we actually prolonged her decline for a long, long time.
Okay.
And it wasn't until the last 2 years, she had a big crash 2 years beforehand, about a year and a half before she passed. And I was able to pull her out of it with intravenous fluids that I was doing at home.
Okay, so that's
required, yeah, maybe that's the Band-Aid, and I was able to do it without her having to go to the hospital.
Yep.
And that pulled her through. We should have lost her back the previous August. And then we continued doing that, and it gave her like just a very high quality of life, considering.
Okay. So yep, that all makes sense then, because so she's showing me old age is essentially what took me.
Okay.
Not the kidney disease, which I would have assumed. So, and the Band-Aid is definitely an intravenous fluid. So everything she's saying makes sense.
Okay.
But she's making me feel like towards the end, like when my time is finally coming, like there's some sort of I don't know if that like I don't know if I want to call it like an emergent event, or if you have to like rush me in for something that occurs or something happened. She's showing me like my emergency room symbol. So there's something that happens where you're like, oh my gosh, something's getting bad, or something. If she had like an episode there, she's showing me an emergency symbol.
Okay. She definitely crashed like the last 24 hours before she did pass. It was clear that this was her time.
Okay.
And I contacted like mobile vets to come out to the home.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense then too. So that makes sense. She's very, very tired too, because she's showing me like almost panting like a dog, not literally, but like as though I'm very tired. And she's showing me laying on your lap.
We think it was heart failure right at the end, like her lungs were filling up with fluid. She was even having a hard time purring, like so it was just very clear. And then you had mentioned snow earlier in this session, and the day she passed, there was a horrible snowstorm in the city. And where I live, my weather's very much like yours. And nobody was driving. The city was basically shut down. But I managed to get a vet to come out within less than 2 hours because this snowstorm, she had canceled all of her appointments. And I remember thinking, like, Abbie hated the gray, snowy days. And I'm like, what a sad day for her to pass with this bad weather. But it was the bad weather that allowed her to get comfort right then and there, as opposed to me having to wait one more day for somebody to come out. Because she didn't do well at the vet, so I didn't want to put her through that.
And that's why she's saying I weathered the storm no matter what came my way, because I was with my mom. That's why she was using that metaphor too. Whatever you did with her ashes yesterday, did you actually keep some though?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like a little bit to like put in like a ring. Are you planning to like put it in a ring or something? Okay, because I'm asking her, I'm like, can you tell me what they did with your ashes? And she's like, there's gonna be some in a ring. Okay, that's what she's giving me. She's like, tell me more. She's kind of doing this and kind of tapping her foot. She makes me feel like she wasn't often stubborn, but she could be stubborn sometimes. I think the ring is what she wants to give me with that. Did you feel her with you yesterday? She's saying my mom felt me. Whatever it is you did yesterday, did you feel her presence?
Yeah, yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, you told me about the ring, but tell me what else they did with the ashes or whatever. And she's saying, she's like pretending to be stubborn. And she's like, no, my mom knows, my mom felt me there. My mom felt me there.
Great. Come on, Abbie.
I think her validation with the ring is what she wants to give here. She showed me a pier twice.
Oh,
does that make sense too?
Yes. So when I had this ring made, I had actually had a second one made because I was maybe thinking I was having a hard time deciding on the stone size. And I had a larger stone made, but unfortunately the artist who did it kind of misled me on the band size, and it changed the look of the ring, and I didn't really care for it. So my sister had an idea. One of the things we did with her ashes, part of the ashes, was last week when we were at the lake where she normally would come to, my husband and I put them in the water. We went and rented a paddle boat and we spread them in the water.
Okay.
But my sister had the idea, because I didn't like the ring. She says, throw it in the lake. And one night I was just having a bit of a hard time without her there at the lake with us. And I went for a walk on my own, and there's a pier at the lake. And I walked up the pier and I threw the other ring off the pier.
Okay. Because she showed me a pier earlier and I didn't get a chance to say it. And when they show you something again, it's like, you're supposed to say it. Like, why didn't you say it the first time? And she showed it to me again. That's her way of not being stubborn. Her love for you is really strong. She's like, if cats could blow kisses, that's what she's doing here. And she keeps showing me this image of like you on the balance beam and her like 2 feet ahead of you, and she's like, come on.
We would always play a game of, we called it follow me. Like, she just loves us to follow her around the house. Like, it made her so happy. Like, and it wasn't a full-on game and it wasn't super playful, but we could see how happy she was when we followed her.
Okay, so that's interesting because in the beginning, I talked about how there's often like double messages. She's like
Yeah.
showing me like stopping and looking over her shoulder, and she's like, come on, come on. Like, are you coming? Are you coming? That sort of reference. She's kind of like taking your hand and putting her paw in it. So I think that is what she's going to close with. She's just zooming in on her. Like if two humans were going to hold hands, she's zooming in on this but it's her paw.
All I can think of with that, after she came out of her kind of the year and a half ago health scare, that I still don't know how she lived through it. Like it was almost way worse than her actual physical end. She, myself and my husband were on the couch and we were all just kind of like spooning. And I have a picture of my hand with her paw in it. And she mostly held paws with my husband. That was kind of their thing. But she was with mine. I just have a picture, just kind of our hands. And it was this very symbolic picture for me, just that kind of our trio got through a really bad month. And that picture actually might have been taken in September, actually. I'll have to look back, but it was definitely a very hard August that year.
Okay. Yeah, that's very telling for sure. And she also feels like, I don't know what else was happening in your life at that time, but that wasn't the right point for her to leave. Like something would have been, I know it's been extremely, extremely hard with her leaving now.
Yeah.
But it feels like it would have been something about her leaving then would have made it harder for you than her leaving when she did.
Okay. There's a big family, kind of a health issue scare that month.
Okay. Because she makes me feel like there was some other stuff going on with you that she knew, like, if I leave now, it's too hard right now. Like it'll be worse.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to disconnect from her with that, and she'll stay with you, of course, and I'll leave her with you. And I thank you so much for allowing me to work with you. And I hope that this gives you some validation.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.